So another thing that I've always wondered. So how would you compare the dynamic or relationship of Zeigler and McDaniels compared to Gruden and Mayock? Kind of how they worked together, made decisions and things like that.
That is a great question. Nobody's ever asked me. So I want to. Okay, so let's start with Gruden and Mayock. I covered the Big Ten before I moved to Las Vegas when the Raiders moved to Las Vegas to cover the Raiders. So I've been covering the Raiders 4 years. I covered the Big Ten Conference and college sports. And anyone around the Big Ten knew about all of the issues with Damon Arnett.
Yeah.
All of them.
I live in Ohio. I knew.
Okay. And let me just say, there's a lot that aren't even public.
Yeah.
Okay. I know multiple teams. When I say multiple, over 10, that they had Damon Arnett off their draft board.
I bet.
If he was an undrafted free agent, they would not have signed him.
I bet.
Okay. I don't know of any team. There were 2 that I didn't talk to prior to the draft. And I didn't know of any team that had him before a 5th round grade.
Woo.
Okay?
Woo.
And that's only a handful. That's not even double digit. Okay?
Jeez.
So John Gruden knew what he liked. He likes the tough.
Yeah, physical, yeah.
And I love Gruden for that because I love old school football. Okay? He's friends with Urban.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, this guy's going to be all right. This guy's going to be all right. And so Mayock is telling him.
Right.
And Gruden, he's physical. He's tough. Urban loves him. And it was a disaster. And so I think you saw a lot with Gruden. And let me just say for the record, I really like John. If you go back and watch his press conferences when he was with the Raiders, you can see him saying to me in front of everybody, I really like you, because I think he appreciated the way I...
Oh, yeah, you guys had a great... I could tell. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And I really like John. I like him as a man, a father. Someone says, well, what about what he did? Well, I'm going to tell you something, Chris. This may come as a shock to you. You're black.
Yeah.
But this may come as a shock to you. I'm white. I'm going to bet in anyone of any color, black, white, red, yellow, brown, we all have things in our background that we're like, man, I regret that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay? We're all going to have things that we've said that we thought were private, that even though we thought they were private, we look back and say, that was wrong.
Right.
It was wrong. And let me just say, I'm raising my hand.
Yeah.
I'm being accountable to your audience.
Too.
So I know John. I know how many players love him. And should he have said those things? No.
Right.
But he repented. He's moved on. I'm sorry. I don't want to be part of any nation where anybody, whether I like them or not, is unredeemable.
Yeah, absolutely.
I tell people all the time, and I'm not coming on your show to preach, but I'm very open about my faith. And I'm not open about my faith because I think people who don't share it are bad people.
Right.
I share it because I know without Christ, I'm bad people. I'm not preaching it because people who don't have it need it. I'm preaching because
you need it. You feel, yeah.
I need it.
Right.
Because I know me. And
right.
So, anyways, I don't have any axe to grind against John. But what I think, John liked Mayock. Mayock liked him.
Right.
And Mayock was very good at the talent evaluating. But John ruled the roost. And it's like when Al Davis was there. Al ran the Raiders.
Yeah.
John ran
the
Raiders.
Okay.
So Mayock worked for him, but John
ran. Yeah.
And let me tell you, there was no fear he was getting fired.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He knew he could do. Gruden got fired is when the NFL came with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Okay. Zeigler and McDaniels were not just friends. They were teammates.
Okay.
They were best friends. There was a genuine love and care. There was, I say was, but is, fondness for one another. And the ambiguity and then the friendship. I hope whatever Mark Davis does, and there are three kinds of teams. There's an owner-led team that picks the GM and the coach and says, you're both responsible to me. And to me, that's completely asinine.
Right.
The second one is a coach-led team where a coach picks the general manager.
Yeah.
And I think that works 1%. Yeah. Well, you could see places where it works, but it's very minuscule.
Right.
And it fails significantly more than it works. And then the best play, in my opinion, is a GM that picks the
coach. Yeah.
Now, having said that, I think if Mark learns anything from John and from Josh, I've hired two guys that I trusted as football people. And when you're a coach, you're so in the forest, you can't see the trees.
Yeah.
Let's back up. And let's let a GM handle the day-to-day.